Lucas in his office said, "If I had known Blessing was coming for our usual troubles, I wouldn't have invited Ugoma over. My wife really designed her face. But that's good for her. She thinks she can pull my wife's new hair and go scot-free. That one that likes fufu and oha soup." He looked at his wife's direction and said, "I know she's pretending to be a hard girl. She's not happy. She has been quiet ever since they took Blessing to the hospital." He couldn't concentrate anymore, so he closed his laptop and walked towards where she was sitting on the couch. He sat down beside her and pulled her to his chest, and immediately she bursted into tears. Lucas became confused and wondered why she cried. Does the hair hurt that much? Or is there any other thing making you cry? "My love, please talk to me. What's the matter?" Instead of Ugoma to reply, she continued crying. "Lucas, am I cursed?" she asked, looking at him, expecting him to reply. Lucas became shocked. He wasn't expecting that kind of question. He was speechless. Ugoma was still expecting him to say something. He said, "Jewel, I don't know why you asked me this, but I want you to know that you are not cursed. Instead, you are a blessing to me, to us, and to the world. Ever since you came into my life, everything changed. Look at me, a former playboy, now a man. I am focused today because you came into my life, so don't you ever think that you are cursed." He kissed her forehead, but Ugoma only sighed. It's been 7 months now, and all this while, Lucas has been waiting patiently for the person after his wife's life, but they never came. Same 7 months since Lucas found out that Blessing and Ugoma are sisters, but he never told his wife. Not because he doesn't want to tell her, but because Ugoma hates her father so much, even when she doesn't know the man. Moreover, who in her shoes won't hate a man that cost her mother's life at a young age? While Lucas and Ugoma had forgotten about the warning from the unknown caller, Chidera and Blessing were already getting ready to attack. And in this period, Simi's business went global, and for Gina and Nena, their love for their lovers was stronger. One day, Ugoma was enjoying her sleep when she was tapped on the shoulder by Lucas. She forcefully opened her eyes, only to see her husband's handsome face staring at her. She had been sick for some days, waking up with this strange urge to throw up. Of course, she always do. Plus hunger issues, especially at midnight. Mama had already gone back, but Lucas got fed up with the new Ugoma and had to invite Mama over again. "Good morning," Ugoma greeted, and he smiled and replied, "Morning, Jewel. How was your sleep?" Ugoma smiled and thought, "Even though I frustrate him, he still loves me." "It was okay," she replied, pouting like a baby. Lucas laughed and said, "Stand up, please. Remember you're going to check out your new school where you got an admission." Ugoma stood up immediately, but started getting that strange urge to throw up again, so she ran into the bathroom. While she was throwing up, she felt someone's hand smoking her back, and immediately she knew it was Lucas. When she was done, she washed her mouth, feeling very weak. "Jewel, no excuse this time. Go have your bath and dress up. I will take you to the hospital first before you go check your school out." Ugoma just nodded because she was too weak to argue with him. After a little while, they were done preparing, so they drove off to the hospital. They arrived and walked in, stopped in front of the receptionist who won't stop trolling over Lucas. Ugoma had what we call, permit me to say, pepper body, and she said, "Hello, young lady. Are you here to do your job, or you are here to drool over people's husbands?" The receptionist felt embarrassed. "I am really sorry, madam. Please, how may I help you?" she asked with a smile. "Please, is Dr. David around? I actually have an appointment with him," Lucas said. The receptionist smiled at him and Ugoma scoffed. Lucas was surprised. This is so unlike my wife. What is going on? Yes, sir. He is at his office, the receptionist replied. And immediately, Ugoma started dragging him out, making him burst into hilarious laughter. Come on, Lucas, let's go. I need to go check on my admission, she said, and started going over to Dr. David's office. Fast forward, they were done with the test, and the doctor said, since you guys are in a hurry, I will process the test and send you the results in few hours' time. They left the office, got into the car, and drove off. Lucas said, Jewel, I will get to my office first. Then two of my bodyguards will drive you to school, okay? I hear, she replied. After a few minutes' drive, they got to the company and Lucas asked her to go over to the back seat. She obeyed and he called two of his bodyguards and told them to take Ugoma to school. He kissed her a goodbye. They drove off while he walked into the office. Blessing and Chidera were in the hotel room when Blessing's phone rang. It was her private spy. She picked up immediately. Hello, madam. Mr. Lucas's wife is going out with only two bodyguards, he said. Okay. Thank you so much for the information, Blessing replied and hung up. She turned to Chidera and said, call the boys. Tell them to move immediately. Kidnap her and bring her over to the warehouse. She said, very soon, Lucas will be all mine. Ugoma on her way to the new school noticed the bodyguard started getting scared. She looked at the mirror only to see a black van following them. She started feeling scared too. The bodyguard drove in full speed and the van did the same thing. In no time, the van double-crossed them and 8 masked men came out of the van with weapons. They shot the two bodyguards, opened the back door where Ugoma was. Please, don't kill me, Ugoma pleaded with tears in her eyes. One of them covered her nose with a handkerchief and she started suffocating, and in no time, she passed out. Lucas was sitting in his office when he received a text message from Dr. David saying that Ugoma is pregnant. He nearly fell down from his seat. He said, I can't believe I will soon be a father. A smile appeared on his face and he shed tears, not any other tear, but tears of joy. He tried his wife's number, but it wasn't reachable, making him confused because Ugoma had never switched off her phone. He started having this strange feeling that something isn't right. Something is wrong somewhere. He called Mama to tell her the good news and also the matter at hand. He also called the school management and they said his wife hadn't gotten to school yet. This made him scared and he almost peed on his body. Hope nothing happens to my wife and my unborn child. If not, the person will get it hard with me. He was still wallowing in his thoughts when his office door opened and Linda ran inside like she was being chased by a mad dog. Lucas became angry over nothing. Can't you knock? How dare you barge into my office like that? I am really sorry, Mr. Lucas, but I think you need to see this, or better still, check your newsfeed, Linda said, looking very worried, making Lucas even more confused. Immediately she left, he logged in, only to see the most shocking news ever. The picture of his two bodyguards shot dead, and his wife wasn't there. He took his car key and phone. He ran outside like a madman. Linda, he called, and she immediately ran out and followed him without asking any question. His employees were all looking at him with pity, but he didn't even care because the only thing on his mind was his jewel, Ugoma, and his unborn child. They got into the car and he drove straight to the police station. After a few minutes' drive, they got to the station. He parked his car and they ran into the place. Excuse me, officer. I am here to report my missing wife. She had been kidnapped. The policeman looked at him and returned his eyes to the files in front of him. Mister, when did she get kidnapped? Few hours ago, Lucas replied, I am sorry, sir, but you can't file a missing report until after 24 hours. Lucas's jaw dropped. He became more confused and Linda yelled, Someone's life is at stake here and you are saying we can't file a missing report? I am sorry, but that's the law, the policeman replied and continued with what he was doing, ignoring them completely. You know what? Linda, just go back to the office and take care of my work. He gave her tea and drove home straight. He called his friends, told them, and also called the Inspector General of the Armed Force and informed him too. When he got home, he saw Mama going to and fro around the living room. Immediately she noticed him, she ran up to him. Anna, any news? And Lucas nodded in the negative. Mama loosened her wrapper and sat down on the floor. Hours later, the inspector and his boys were already at his house and were waiting patiently for the person that got Ugoma kidnapped to call. After a while, a call came into Lucas's phone from an unknown number. He picked up, putting it on loudspeaker and praying that God gives him the strength to hold his temper. The men who kidnapped Ugoma already tied her up on a chair. Chidera and Blessing were at the warehouse waiting patiently for her to wake up. Blessing said, It is such a pity that such a beautiful young girl is going to die soon. Even in her sleep, she still looks super cute. Why wouldn't Lucas be in excess love with her? Blessing looked towards Chidera's direction, and she was looking at Ugoma with so much hatred, and a smile appeared on her face. She said, See this fool. She thinks I wouldn't know of the devilish plans to use me in order to get Lucas to marry her. Now, let me give you a little hint of how she knew. She received a call from an unknown number telling her that Chidera is actually using her. At first, she didn't believe it until she caught her discussing a few things with the boys. Guess what she did? She went to the boys behind Chidera's back and offered them more money to work with her but play along with Chidera. This was what the boys did because they were after the highest bidders. To Chidera, she's going to get Blessing killed after they finish killing Ugoma, but unfortunately for her, it is going to be the other way round. Blessing left the warehouse and immediately she called her parents. After a few rings, her dad picked up. Hello, Dad. I didn't call you for any discussion whatsoever. Meet me at the K's warehouse in 2 hours' time. This was all she said and hung up. She walked back to the warehouse only to see Ugoma awake. Wow! So our dear Cinderella is awake already, huh? Blessing, what do you want from me? Ugoma asked in tears. Come on, baby girl, don't cry. The fun haven't even started yet, she said and started laughing. Please let me go. I have done nothing to you, Ugoma said. Blessing smiled and lowered herself to get to her level. Do you want to know why I am doing this? That's because you took Lucas away from me. Everything you are enjoying now should be mine, you bitch. Ugoma busted into hilarious laughter and said, You know what, Blessing? You are the greatest fool I have seen in my entire life. Lucas didn't dump you, but you did. You left him for another guy, and now you have the gall to say I took him from you? Blessing landed her a thunderous slap, making blood to come out from her nose. Ugoma busted into another hilarious laughter, making Blessing confused because she didn't expect such a reaction. You know what? Blessing, you really hit like a child. And you, Chidera, my dear cousin, are you hiding? Come out from your hiding place. This she said with a weak smile. Chidera came out and gave her another slap. Blessing walked out of the warehouse and dialed Lucas's number, and he picked up immediately. Hello, love. Have you missed me? Blessing, if you are the one holding my wife, then please release her for me. Not that quick, lover boy. If you want your dear pretty wife, then come and meet me at Kay's warehouse in few minutes with your mom. And one more thing, don't involve the police. If not, you'll be putting your wife's life at risk. Immediately she said this, she ended the call. Ugoma was still breathing hard due to the beating given to her by Chidera. She said, I knew Chidera hates me, but I never knew it is to this extent. Chidera was about hitting her again and again when Mr. Donald and his wife, that is Blessing's parents, stopped her. Hey, you young lady, if you dare lay your hands again on her, then consider yourself a dox. Lose her and let her be. Chidera flinched. Come on, Dad and Mom. You don't give orders here. I do, Blessing said, pointing a gun at them. Oh, Blessing, you have a gun? Her mother said in tears. And Blessing started laughing. She was about saying something when the door forcefully got opened and Lucas and his mom came in. Immediately, Lucas's eyes landed on Blessing. It darkened in anger, and Ugoma gave him a painful smile because she was already feeling a little pain in her abdomen. Blessing, I am here now. Let my wife go. And Blessing started laughing like a witch. Not so fast, baby boy. You have to do something first. My parents and your mom will be the witness for today. These papers here are marriage papers. So if you want your wife alive, you have to sign it. What? Everybody shouted, including Chidera. Lucas, please don't do this, Ugoma said in tears. And Lucas smiled painfully and said, I am sorry, my love. If this is what I would do to save you and my baby, then I will have to do it. Ugoma's eyes widened in shock. Oh my God, so I am pregnant? Lucas took the pen and signed the papers, and tears dropped from Ugoma's eyes. Now, Blessing, I have done as you want. Can you let my wife go now? She laughed again like a witch. Do you think I was going to let her leave? Eh? Blessing asked and shot Chidera at her abdomen. Ugoma screamed and ran towards her. She said, even though she hates me, I love her because I don't just see her as a cousin but as a sister. Blessing said to her, now, my darling, it is your turn, pointing the gun at Ugoma. Please, Blessing, don't do this. She is your sister, her mother said. Ugoma became confused and Blessing asked, what do you mean by she is my sister? Okay. Remember your father once told us he raped a lady long time ago at a certain village. This is the fruit of his act. Please don't shoot. If not for her sake, but for the sake of the innocent child she is carrying, her mother said on her knees. But Blessing just laughed and said, that's enough reason to kill her. I am sorry, Mom. Immediately she said this, Ugoma knelt down, closed her eyes, lifted up her hands, and was waiting for the bullet to hit her, but nothing happened. When she opened her eyes, she saw Blessing on the ground, wincing in pains with tears flowing freely from her eyes. She was shot by some officers. They carried Blessing and Chidera into the ambulance to the hospital. Lucas ran up to his wife, and Ugoma smiled weakly. You are safe now, my darling, was the last thing she heard before she passed out. After 2 years, a lot of things happened, but no life was lost, including Chidera and Blessing. After the incident, they were rushed to the hospital and they survived. The American police requested to have Blessing since she had series of murder cases in America. Chidera, on the other hand, was arrested, but she didn't forget to ask for Ugoma's forgiveness. And Ugoma, being a soft-hearted person, forgave her and even persuaded Lucas to help her bring Chidera out of the jail. After a while, Lucas concurred. Instead of her spending 35 years in the prison, she stayed only 3 months. Simi faced her business and later got married. Nena and Gina got married to their lovers, and after a very long while of apologizing, Ugoma forgave her father. Chidera went back to the village. No man looked her way. She became a laughingstock and got old without getting married. Lucas and Ugoma, after their first child, gave birth to a baby girl. An evangelist Nkoli named her Victory. Hey, African Tales by Camo Tribe. I just want to say thank you all for your cooperation. Now that we have come to the end of this amazing story, what did you learn from it? Let me read them in the comment section. Life isn't a bed of roses, and jealousy doesn't pay at all. If Chidera didn't do all she did out of jealousy and followed her siblings' footsteps, maybe she wouldn't have ended up the way she did. James chapter 3 and verse 16. For wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and evil of every kind. If you enjoyed these whole episodes, please like, share, and subscribe if you have not. You can also buy me a super thanks or buy me a coffee using the link in this video or the link on the channel's description. Till I bring another series your way, it is a goodbye from here, and God bless you.